Hello, everyone. So, thank you so much for your continued support for my podcast, Knowing Universe. And this is episode 3 that is called as All That Matters. And obviously, yes, we are going to talk about the different types of matter which exist in this universe. Matter in the universe. Does it make sense? As a matter of fact, yes, it does. The matter in this universe is of 2 types. For now, it's 2 types. Then we'll talk about, little different things. So one is the normal matter and that another is the dark matter. So what is normal matter? So the normal matter is anything which is visible to us and what we, know for sure that, anything which has got some mass and some volume, that is called as matter. Now, anything like the stars, the planets, the asteroids, everything is the normal matter. But what about the dark matter? The dark matter is we don't know. Yes, we don't know yet anything about the dark matter. That's why they are called as dark matter. Interesting thought. Yeah, I know. So why do we call it as? Is it important? Okay, so again, we don't know that whether it will be important or not, because in future it can be. So the dark matter is what we haven't seen and it is completely invisible. See, when I say that it is invisible, it really doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. It's just that whatever resources what we have today, whatever technology what we have today, we are not just able to sense it. That's it. Whatever the sensors, detectors, telescope, everything, whatever we have, we don't know. Because then, why is that? Why we don't know anything? Because these matter, they don't emit light or energy. So we don't know what is the composition and how does it look like. But there is some idea about it, and it looks like a beautiful net-like pattern. If you look, just go and Google it, you'll find very pretty something. And 80% of the universe is not seen, which is the dark matter. And the matter, the normal matter or the visible matter, what we know about is just somewhere 1 to 10%. So, we have a lot to explore. This is the time when we need to know more about it. So we are everyday basis, we are learning something new, and we are going to, maybe not just Mars. I have a feeling that, in future, we will not just go to space or Mars. Maybe we will go to some unexplored area, and which would be called as dark matter. So dark matter today, light for tomorrow. So let's talk about a little bit more in terms of construction/structure of the dark matter. So the visible matter, which is made up of baryons. Now, baryons is a slightly more technical word for the nucleons. Now, what are nucleons? Nucleons are the protons and the neutrons in an atom, which is the basic fundamental unit of making any matter. Normal visible matter is actually made up of 3 subatomic particles: proton and nucleon in the nucleus, and the electrons revolving around the nucleus, right? So the baryons would be the protons and the neutrons. Neutrons are neutral in charge, protons are positive, and electrons are negative. And overall charge on an atom will be also neutral, because protons and electrons, they are always same in number. Now, there are a lot of thoughts about, the dark matter, because we don't see it yet. So the scientists, they speculate, that it is made up of probably non-baryonic matter. So it is probably maybe 100 times more than a proton. because the proton has, very important major contribution in the mass of an atom. So it is probably 10 to 100 times more than a proton. So now imagine that, the interaction between the normal atom and the normal matter to the dark matter, how difficult it would be. There is no compatibility whatsoever. So now we have the dark matter, which is still unexplored. And yes, if you are interested, please be on board. Go ahead and just, of course, update me every time. I should be the first one. You get in touch with me. And then we have one more thing. And that is what? That is antimatter. So antimatter is what? Do you think that it is somewhere like something like dark matter? No, sir. Dark matter and antimatter, they are very different. They are not at all similar. Something dark may not be anti. Dark is something unexplored, unknown. And anti is the particle which is very similar in terms of visible/normal matter, but the charges would be opposite. So the particles, instead of proton, they will be called as antiprotons because of the opposite charge, yes, and positron or the anti-electrons. And where are these antimatter? They are also, not here around us. Good for us, because if antiparticles, the meet particles, that is the matter meets antimatter, guess what is going to happen? Yes, a big movie means there will be an explosion, because they cannot just, they will cancel out each other. But since we are still living, and maybe we can say that we are thriving, so probably antimatter is not that much. It is there around us, but it's not in that quantity. Otherwise, there will be nothing left around us. So antimatter actually can be dangerous for us if it is somewhere in the same quantity, whereas the dark matter, we don't know yet. We are exploring, yes. But one more difference is that dark matter, since we do not have the right kind of technology, sensor, etc., that we can explore it, so we don't know that what it is made up of. Just one fact that probably it can be too big in comparison to what the matter has. And the antimatter, on the other hand, can be formed, can be synthesized in the lab. So how do we know? Like now you can have a question. So is it like, how do we know that there is a dark matter if we don't know anything about it? So there is a very interesting, hypothesis. So I'm not saying it's a theory yet, it's a hypothesis, because we can sense some gravitational force, okay? And there has to be some reason for that. Why the gravitational force is so strong, and it contains more matter there. So here we are, we know that there is a dark matter, which we are aware of. Everything around you, everything around me is matter. There are scientists who also see that, galaxies, there are several galaxies, okay? What's yours? Do you have a galaxy? Yes, you have a galaxy, which is called as Milky Way. But there are others too. There are so many galaxies. So because of that, we are still searching about it. And different galaxies, they have different amount of dark matter. And there is one particular galaxy, which is called as Dragonfly 44. Interesting name. Scientists think that it is composed of entirely dark matter. But it's not that there are only dark matter in some distant galaxy. It can be that there are some galaxy where there is no dark matter at all. So it's a mystery. It's a very interesting mystery, I have to say. And we are just here to explore and know new things. So be your own guru. Have fun. Thank you so much for listening. I'll be back next week. Take care then. Bye.